This is Volusia Today, a public information radio program brought to you by the County of Volusia. Here is your host, Kevin Captain.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Volusia Today. I'm Clayton Jackson with the Volusia County Community Information Division. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning, and Volusia Today is made possible by our sponsors, the Daytona Beach International Airport, the Ocean Center, Volusia Recycles, and Votran Public Transportation. Today on the show, I'm joined by our co-host Pat Kewen, as well as Human Services Administrator Patricia Hubbard, and Resource Stewardship Director Dr. Brad Burbaugh. So, Pat, how are things going today?
Hey, I'm doing great, but I'm a little bit worried about hurricane season. It's only day 2, and we've already got a little storm sitting out there in the Gulf. And I'd like to remind our listeners that it's time to stock up on your hurricane supplies and try to get there by June 9th because that's when the sales tax holiday stops.
That's right, and I know Jim Judge, if he's listening right now, he is smiling because he loves when we are talking about hurricane preparedness, even when he's not around. So, Jim, that one's for you. And just to piggyback off that a little bit also is, as always, we'll make people aware to just go ahead and start preparing now, start getting your plan in order. Always look into getting flood insurance because even if you are not in a high-risk flood zone, there's still probability of flooding. So we just want to throw that out there to our listeners that, again, we're already off to a rocky start. But, again, definitely, as Pat said, take advantage of the disaster sales tax holiday. So if you are a parent like me, you've had today, Friday, June 2nd, circled on your calendar for probably since about June or August of last year. Today is the last day for schools in Volusia County. So, we congratulate all those children out there. Hope they got their swimsuits ready to enjoy some fun in the sun and the lovely Florida weather. But again, when school is out for the year, there are a lot of different summer programs out there for our kids to enjoy. And one of them is the summer food program, which Miss Patricia Hubbard is going to talk about. So, Trish, we'll just go ahead and get it rolling.
Okay.
Tell us, what is the summer food program?
Okay. Well, the program is overseen by the Florida Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services, and they work with sponsors all throughout the state to provide free, nutritious meals to children ages 18 and under while school is out for the summer.
So why is it important that we offer this program to children?
Well, this program continues a valuable meal service when schools are out. We know how important meals, breakfast and lunch meals are to children in school, but when that ends, what happens? So the summer food program continues that trend. It keeps the meals going all throughout the summer months, providing nutritious breakfast and lunch meals to the children.
And let's go into a little bit more, not just any site. And first of all, how many sites are participating so far this year?
This year, I have 63 sites signed up.
63 sites across the county.
Across the county,
That's
yes.
amazing. That's amazing. But,
definitely.
Not just any organization, church, or nonprofit, not just anybody can apply and host a feeding site. So tell our listeners a little bit about how, just some of the qualifications that a site has to meet to be in order to feed children this summer.
Okay. Well, all the site has to do is be willing to be a participant and serve the children in the community. They cannot be within a quarter of a mile of each other, and also cannot be too close to a school that's participating as well, because we do have some schools that will be participating, but any of the county's summer food sites cannot be within a quarter of a mile of those sites. But as long as they are not, and they are willing to participate as a site to serve the children in the community, they can.
And the sites, they are located in areas that, I know we were talking about this earlier, that at least 50% or more of the children have to be located or receive free or reduced meals.
Exactly. Any location where they are in close proximity to a school that has at least 50% of the children who are enrolled in those schools eat free and reduced meals during school time. They can participate. Sites also have to attend a mandatory training every year in order to qualify, because they have to show the state that they have been trained to operate the program as a site. And that's pretty much it. There's an application that they filled out. It's pretty basic. Attend the training, be in an eligible area, and just welcome the children.
That's a wonderful program. Now, do parents need to sign up, or do they just show up?
No, they don't have to sign up. We don't ask for any kind of requirements from the household. There's no application for them to fill out for their children. They just have to show up to a site.
That's great. And do the kids need to be accompanied by an adult?
Well, they can if the parents decide to bring the children. They're more than welcome to. Of course, the parents can't eat the food. It's just for the children ages 18 and under. But, smaller children, maybe they do have parents that bring them. But normally, the majority of our sites, they're so close in the communities that the kids can walk to the sites.
Correct.
And, yeah.
And out of curiosity, does the child's family, the household, is there any income requirements that a child or a household has to meet in order for the children to receive meals?
Right. No income requirements, nothing to fill out, nothing to provide showing household income at all. They just need to be in an area close where a site is located, and just reach out to them and receive a breakfast and lunch meal every day, Monday through Friday.
Wow, this is a great program for the
really
kids
is.
And the parents.
Yes, it is.
And what kind of food do you provide?
Well, we have breakfast and lunch, and items that are on our breakfast menu. Well, both meals, they receive a milk. That's a requirement. But they also receive items for breakfast like Pop-Tarts, cereal, bagels, donuts, croissants. This year, that's a new item on our menu, is a chocolate croissant.
Oh, boy.
And, yeah, it's something that our food vendor put on the menu because they say they serve it in the schools apparently, so it got approved to be on our menu this year. So I think that may be a big hit for the kids because
I
it's
think
got chocolate.
will.
Yes,
Yeah, and for lunch we have items like Italian subs, a turkey club sandwich, PB&J Uncrustables, which is another big hit. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Right. And you mentioned schools a couple of times. So just clarify to our listeners out there, because there's actually, the County of Volusia government, we are a summer food sponsor,
Yes.
but so is the Volusia School District. So
Exactly.
explain the differences between the two real quick.
Okay. Well, with the County of Volusia being a sponsor, we have sites, like you said, like parks and recreation, summer camps, churches, libraries, YMCA's, Boys and Girls Clubs that participate in the county as a sponsor. But with the school board, it's only the schools. There are certain schools throughout the county that also participate, but they're not affiliated with the county government side of the program.
All right. So let's rewind a little bit to how the food is actually provided and how it is consumed.
Okay.
Now, we'll take us back pre-pandemic to 2019. Let our listeners know how the program operated at that point.
Okay. Pre-pandemic, the children had to attend the site, come to the site, and at breakfast time, eat the meals on site. And then if they weren't already at the site in a camp, they had to come back for the lunch meal and stay on site to eat the lunch. There are certain components of the meals that the children can take off site, such as like the juice box. Like they get a juicy juice box. They can take that off site. Any item for breakfast like the bagel or the Pop-Tarts or the cereal, because they are shelf-stable items, they can take those off site with them. But the milk and any cold item that has to be refrigerated, such as the sandwich at lunchtime, has to be eaten on site. But once COVID pandemic started, the state allowed for the sites to participate as a grab-and-go site because of the safety concerns with the COVID illness and everything. They didn't want to have an outbreak in the communities, so they allowed grab and go, where the children just come to the site. We have the breakfast and the lunch meals bagged up for them, and they would just come to the site, receive a meal, and go on their merry way.
So 2019 before, it was consume on site. They
Yes.
get their meal there. They have to eat it on site.
Yes.
2020, 21, they actually could do grab and go.
Yes.
Now, I know last year there's a little bit of confusion with that.
Exactly.
So it's my understanding that at the very beginning of the program that it was they had to, like you go back to pre-pandemic, they
Yes.
had to get their meal, they then had to eat it on site.
Exactly.
And then about halfway through the program, around July last year.
18th.
July, okay, she actually remembers that date.
I remember the day.
Yeah. So the state, the Florida Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services,
Yes.
they actually came up and said, hey, at this point, if site would like to be grab and go, we can allow for such.
Exactly.
So tell our listeners real quick, what is the state's policy right now heading into the 2023 season?
Okay. Well, the state's policy now is we are back to pre-pandemic, which means that the children have to stay on site to eat their meals. However, they did come up with a plan that due to geographical areas in our county, that they are approving any sites that are in certain pockets of our county, they could apply to be a grab-and-go site. And this year, we had 3 sites that were approved to be a grab-and-go site. And those locations are Pearson Library in Pearson, Florida, Oak Hill Library, and Malloy Community Center, which is in DeLeon Springs. And that was only due to their geographical areas.
All right, so those 3 sites right now are grab and go. All the other 60 sites, they are the traditional consume on site.
Consume on site, exactly.
Now, however, again, with the state, they did change their policy
Yes.
about halfway through the program last year.
That's
So
right.
in the event that they do make a change or additional sites have been approved for grab and go, we'll definitely make sure to get that information out to the public.
Definitely. We want to make sure that everyone is aware of everything that's going on with the program and kept up to date.
Wonderful. Now we're going to post those 63 sites on volusia.org this morning, and I'm wondering how else can people find out where these sites are?
Okay. Well, they'll also be listed on the state website at summerbreakspot.org. And all a person has to do is go to that website, put in their address, and the site locations in their community will pop up. They can also text on their phone to 304-304, and they'll get a text message back asking them for their address. And they put their address in and send it in a text, and those sites will pop up again, all the sites in their community.
Oh, good. That makes it easy.
Yeah, the site.
Yeah.
And they also provide information such as that site's name, their address, the meal times that they're serving breakfast and lunch meals, so they're aware of everything, and any days that they're closed.
All right, so for all you parents and guardians out there, if your children are looking for some healthy, free, and nutritious foods to eat, starting this coming Monday, June 5th, check out the summer food sites. Again, go to summerbreakspot.org, put in your address, and you'll find a nearby site. And with that, we're going to take a quick break, and when we return, we'll talk to Dr. Brad Burbaugh about the new Regrow the Loop program. Stay with us.
Subscribe to the Volusia County YouTube channel.
And hit the bell icon to know what's happening in your hometown.
There are so many great places to explore.
And things to learn.
With over 1,000 videos available right now, the channel offers something for everyone.
Let's go!
Did you know we have countless features showcasing history, nature, wildlife, and recreation? Subscribe and hit the bell icon.
Or that we live stream important county meetings and workshops where leaders make decisions that can impact our everyday lives. Did you subscribe yet?
Or that we record our weekly radio show, Volusia Today, where we interview staff from the different divisions and departments across our great county, and they discuss the nitty-gritty of their field and expertise.
Go ahead, subscribe.
But that's not it. There's more. Subscribe and hit the bell icon and fully explore.
Score!
We're back. I'm Pat Kewen along with Clayton Jackson, and you're listening to Volusia Today. This is a public information program brought to you by the County of Volusia. Joining us now to discuss the Regrow the Loop initiative that is kicking off this month is our own Resource Stewardship Director, Dr. Brad Burbaugh. Good morning, Brad.
Good morning. Happy Friday.
Yes, thank you. Hey, let's get started by explaining what exactly the Loop is. There might be a few people out there who haven't heard of it yet.
Sure. The Ormond Beach Scenic Loop and Trail is a 30-mile double loop is what we call it, because it's almost a loop within a loop. On the west side, you have Dixie Highway, and on the east side, you can go either A1A or John Anderson to loop around. But it's a Florida Scenic Highway and a National Scenic Byway that's got 9 state, county, and city parks, ocean access. It's really a gem in our community, one of 5 scenic highways that we have in our county.
Oh, it really is gorgeous. Like, I actually had the pleasure of accompanying you and your team out there a couple weeks ago, and I was just blown away, like, the beauty. Like, this whole county, there's just so much, like, just beauty. Like I said, I've lived here for about 7 years, and I am blessed and just so proud to call Volusia County my home. Yes. So now we kind of set the scene for our listeners that they know exactly where we're talking about and where the loop is. Talk to us about what the Regrow the Loop initiative actually is.
So with the leadership of our elected officials, we've established the program really and asked homeowners to be our partners in preserving the beauty of the loop for future generations. So over the next 12 months, we've engaged partners, and I would be remiss if I didn't mention them. So with the Ormond Beach Scenic Loop and Trail, the City of Ormond Beach, Florida Native Plant Society Paw Paw Chapter, Dream Green Volusia, Halifax River Audubon Society are all helping us provide educational activities over the next 12 months to homeowners. But as an educator and scientist, I know that one and done education doesn't work. So we're trying to engage people by, one, getting them to sign a pledge where they commit to adopting some practices that will help regrow the loop, protect water quality along the loop, but also engage as a volunteer. So when people sign the pledge, they'll get a sticker. We'll send them a sticker, a Regrow the Loop sticker, so they can proudly show it and let their neighbors that they're involved in the initiative with us. If they attend an educational activity, they'll be eligible to receive a free native tree at one of our plant giveaways planned for later this fall or summer 2024.
That's great. Now, I think one of your goals is to get rid of the invasive plants along the loop. So can you tell us what are invasive plants?
They're the devil.
Oh, dear.
And that's putting it nice, folks.
That's right. So really, they're plants that were not native to this area, and so they have no natural predators or anything really to keep them in check and keep the ecosystem in balance. So they essentially take over the ecosystem and crowd out our native plants. And in order really for plants, animals, humans, for all of us to thrive, we need a diverse ecosystem with diverse plants and animals that all have their niche in our environment.
Okay, so what are some of the most common and the worst of these devils? Is it the air potato?
So air potato, I think mostly along the loop is Brazilian pepper. We've got a lot of Brazilian pepper along the loop, and torpedo grass, Kogan grass. There's lots of different ones, and even some homeowners are planting them not knowing that they're invasive. So our goal is to highlight monthly on our county social media the good guys and bad guys on the loop. So helping people know this is a native plant or a plant that's adapted to our area that's good to plant along the loop or across the county for that matter. And these are the bad guys that you want to stay away from because they exhibit that invasive behavior and take over.
Oh, now some of these invaders are kind of pretty. Do we need to kill them too?
Well, it's really about balance in the ecosystem. So I think if a homeowner is willing to keep the invasive in check and make sure that it's not spreading, and they want it in their yard, that's their choice. But our recommendation, of course, is to not plant invasive species.
Very good. We need to go native.
So one of the other goals of the Regrow the Loop initiative is Florida-friendly landscaping principles. And I know we probably could bring you on and you could fill a full half-hour show just talking about those. But real quick, tell us about what those principles are.
Sure, happy to. So these are principles developed by the University of Florida. IFAS Extension, who is one of our organization locally who is leading this effort alongside with the county. And these are 9 research-based principles so that are environmentally sustainable practices. So right plant, right place, water efficiently, fertilize appropriately, attract wildlife, manage pests responsibly. So that's just a snapshot of what we're looking at in terms of those Florida-friendly landscaping principles. But when I say research-based, it means that if you adopt these principles, you're going to protect our environment and the water quality of our county. Just like Clayton, I love this county. I was born and raised in it, and I like being on the water, so I want to protect water quality. And by adopting these landscaping principles developed by the University of Florida, that's a small step that homeowners can take.
Well, this is great. You're the right man for this job, Brad. Thank you for getting this thing off the ground. And I'll bet a lot of our listeners would like to know how they can get involved with this Regrow the Loop initiative. How can they do that?
So what we're proposing is we have a volusia.org/regrow the loop is our website. So I would encourage people to go to the website and sign the pledge. That would be the first, to sign the citizen pledge and commit to adopting one practice or more. When we have your email, we'll give you a monthly, just one email a month. I was sure to put that so people wouldn't feel like they were being bombarded. One email a month of activities happening as part of the initiative that month. So not only classroom education, but we want to do some field trips to the different public parks or maybe even nurseries. So people will get that information if they sign up and sign the pledge. We also have a list of our classes and links to register. At this point, most of the classes will be at the Ormond Beach Public Library. Our first one on June 24th, we're very excited about. But I would be remiss if I did not mention that this initiative is open to anyone in the county. So a lot of the practices, actually all of the practices that we will teach in those classes can be universally applied by homeowners in Deltona, Ormond, New Smyrna, Oak Hill, across the county. So we encourage folks that if they're interested in learning more and receiving the native tree, to please sign up and join us. Great.
Just so to reiterate that, this project is focused on the Ormond Loop. However, it is open and available to any Volusia County resident, because Brad said a lot of these principles that can be applied to the Loop can be applied countywide. For more information, like Brad said, you obviously go to volusia.org/regrow the loop. Actually, just yesterday, we did publish a Facebook video that tells a little bit more about what the initiative is and has some beautiful footage of what the Ormond Loop actually is. So with that, we're going to take our last commercial break. Don't go anywhere, and we'll be right back with more Volusia Today.
Subscribe to the Volusia County YouTube channel.
And hit the bell icon to know what's happening in your hometown.
There are so many great places to explore.
And things to learn.
With over 1,000 videos available right now, the channel offers something for everyone.
Let's go!
Did you know we have countless features showcasing history, nature, wildlife, and recreation? Subscribe and hit the bell icon.
Or that we live stream important county meetings and workshops where leaders make decisions that can impact our everyday lives. Did you subscribe yet?
Or that we record our weekly radio show, Volusia Today, where we interview staff from the different divisions and departments across our great county, and they discuss the nitty-gritty of their field and expertise.
Go ahead, subscribe.
But that's not it. There's more. Subscribe and hit the bell icon and fully explore.
Score!
We're back with Volusia Today. I'm Clayton Jackson along with co-host Pat Kewen. And it's kind of the last few minutes we have here. Trish, is there a, I don't want to call it a selling point because obviously the food is free, but what is your pitch to get parents and guardians to encourage their children to come take part in this program to get meals?
Well, I would say it's just an incentive for your household. If you're not wanting to cook breakfast, cook lunch, send those children out to these sites all over the county and have them receive a free, nutritious breakfast and lunch meal.
All right, and Brad, kind of the same with you. Tell us about what's your selling point to get somebody to participate in the Regrow the Loop initiative?
So I think my selling point is government can't do it all, but we can all together do something. And that's why we're asking homeowners to be our partners and why we've engaged the nonprofits and other municipalities to help us make this successful under the County Council's leadership.
All right. So just a few upcoming events that we have in Volusia County. We do want to remind everyone about the Veteran Services Stand-Down event that is taking place next Friday, June 9th at the Volusia County Fairgrounds. It'll be held in the Hester building there. There's going to be a lot of wonderful resources for our veterans and their families to take advantage of, network in the community, as well as there's going to be multiple divisions within the Volusia County government that are going to be there to highlight job opportunities within the Volusia County government through the county's Hiring Our Heroes initiative. So, Pat, do you have any closing words for our listeners out there?
Well, I hope y'all have a great day, and remember to get ready for hurricane season.
Yes, I'm glad Pat brought that up. Again, like we touched on it at the beginning of the show, that we're already getting some nasty weather out there. Hopefully it's going to skirt us, and we may just get a little bit of rain, so we're keeping our fingers crossed there. But again, take advantage of that disaster sales tax holiday. Make sure you're looking at flood insurance and start preparing now. With that, we're going to close the show. Have a wonderful weekend, Volusia County.
If you have a comment about Volusia Today, or if there is a topic you would like to hear featured, please contact Volusia County Community Information at 1-866-345-0345.